Okay, Eric, have you seen the lists of things that are trending in and out for 2025 on the internet?
I have not.
Okay, you need to spend more time on the internet.
Well, apparently so. I thought I was on the internet enough
They're
every day for work.
everywhere. They're
All right. Well, what
everywhere.
do you got?
Okay, so I thought it would be fun to go through the list of in and outs 2025 for leadership.
Oh, I would love that. I love that idea. What you got?
Okay, so let's start with the out list.
Perfect. Get rid of them. What do we got?
Okay, here are the things we're getting rid of in 2025. Number one, micromanagement should already be out.
Ooh, yeah, no,
Already
we
out.
don't need that anymore. We don't need
Stifles
that anymore.
creativity, leads to burnout. Like nobody likes a micromanager. I feel like we've all had a micromanager in our life.
Oh, I've had more than one.
And it's terrible.
The one that really got me was the one that really I figured out what micromanagement was because of that person, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes it's systemic in the organization, in which case the organization's got to change it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just deeply rooted in the person because of insecurities and fear. And so there should be support from the organization to develop and grow. In the 21st century, you're not in that, industrial age anymore. You have to think differently in order to work, and you need to be able to be creating and innovating and changing all the time.
Yes.
So how do you do that? You can't with somebody on your back on every step of the process.
Yeah, I used to have a boss who would say the project is due at 3:00, and then every hour or 30 minutes leading up to 3:00, he'd be like, how's the project going? How's the project going? How's the project? Like worst micromanagement out if you're still doing it. Let's learn some new skills, everybody.
Absolutely.
Okay. Number two, love this one. Rigid hierarchies, top-down leadership that doesn't foster collaboration or innovation.
I like that. Good. Get rid of it. Absolutely. Now, there has to be a structure, right? We still have a structure, but rigid hierarchies means that there's bureaucracy that has to go through different layers in order to get approvals. Flatten the structure for decision-making processes.
Yeah.
That to me makes more sense.
Totally get the need for some sort of hierarchy, but really, like, there is no need for hierarchy in certain situations. Like, I don't need someone to tell me if it's okay to buy office supplies, right? Some systems should just be a little less rigid.
Absolutely. It doesn't mean that you can't have accountability,
right?
But you do have to have decision-making systems that are a lot less rigid and even flatter in order to get more ideas generating to solve really tough challenges, as well as sometimes you just got to trust your employee to order new office supplies. It's not that difficult without an approval process.
I think you hit the right word exactly there. Trust.
Yep, absolutely.
Rigid companies, rigid hierarchies typically
they have no trust.
Lack trust.
They don't have trust at all.
Trust is in, clearly. We'll see if it made the list. Okay, and the last one, I love this. Out, needs to totally be out. Overworking as a badge of honor. If you are still thinking it is cool to work 70, 80, 90 hours a week and brag about it, like, out. Work-life balance, wellness, taking care of yourself, that's what's in.
It's no longer a badge of honor is right. After COVID especially, people realize that there's more value to life than work. That there is you can have a work life and you can have your home life and you can have a social life. You can have a multiple things to your life that are in balance.
Yeah.
Even if there is 40, 50 hours of work, if you love what you do, great. But everybody needs balance. I don't care if you're running your own business and you feel like you're working all the time, you still need balance. And so it shouldn't be a badge of honor to say, well, I worked 80 hours and now I'm going to the bar. Well, that's out, folks. Not working anymore.
Yeah.
There's a happiness decline in this country.
Yeah.
And in the world maybe, but let's increase that and have more balance in our lives.
Love it. Okay, so what did you think of the out list?
Oh, I love that. I think they absolutely need to go. Every single one of them makes a lot of sense. It's kind of obvious, but you're also saying if that's actually needs to be out and people are going to emphasize that on an individual and a systemic level, great. Let's start pushing that societally.
Let's start that. Okay, so now let's talk about what is in for 2025 because this is just as fun.
Absolutely. What do we got? What's in now?
Okay. I really like the first one on this list, so we're off to a good start.
Awesome.
Emotional intelligence. So EQ, one of the most critical skills in building that trust that we talked about, fostering collaboration, really being able to navigate change. EQ is totally in, and you should be working on your soft skills. And if you're not working on your soft skills, you really need to be.
Yeah, you have to. In this case, where you have more automation coming for
Yeah.
technical skills, the ability to adapt, the ability to be agile in the face
Right.
of change, in the face of challenges, you need to have emotional intelligence. If you're
Right.
not able to process your emotions and be able to react in a way that calms everybody around you, calms yourself, gives you the
Yeah.
ability to pause and think before you act, and give purposeful, conscious, intentional responses, then you're able to do a much better job at not only living your life personally, but professionally making more progress.
Yes. 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 Okay. Number 2 on the list, empowering others to lead.
That's
Best leaders.
essential.
Yes.
That's essential. You have to do that now.
And I love what it says. It says the best leaders know that they don't have to be the smartest person in the room. They just need to create an environment where others can thrive. Yes. 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 Yes.
Look at it this way, folks. Getting other people to lead means that you're sharing the load and
Yeah.
responsibility. We intrinsically like to push it off to somebody to push the cart down the track or up the track on a hill, which is even worse. So it's easy to do that. If we start to take responsibility, it can be scary, but empowerment can also be very empowering, right? It's
Yeah.
rewarding. So
Yeah.
being able to share the load, this is the way we can do this to make it easier, but you have to trust people. The EQ is a huge part of that, to be able to work collaboratively together. And that load is lighter for everybody to make it just so much more enjoyable to work.
Encourage autonomy, celebrate the wins as a collective.
Absolutely. And
Love that.
learn. If you think you failed, just you learn from it and move forward. You have to allow at least a little bit of failure in order to learn from it. Take smarter risks and you move forward and you learn from them. That's how you do it instead of fearing it.
Love that. That should be number 3, but it's not. So, number 3, agile and adaptive leadership. Love it.
Love that.
Love it.
Love that.
Okay. It says pace of change in 2025 demands leaders who can pivot quickly, embrace uncertainty, and tackle complex challenges with fresh perspectives.
Absolutely needed. With change being as fast as it is and as dramatic as it is, I don't think that this isn't just this is a necessity.
Yeah.
Like there is no way around it. This is, you either adapt or die.
Yeah.
Or you're agile or you die. Like this is how it has to be done. So being able to embrace the agility and the ability to adapt to constant change is how we're able to move forward, not just in business, but societally as well.
And I think there's this mindset that goes along with it, that you don't have to have all the answers, but let's figure it out as we go. We're going to figure this out together.
Absolutely. No, totally agree. And that's how you get people on board. EQ is a huge part of that as well. But I think all of those outs and all of those ins make perfect sense for 2025. And I sincerely hope that that is the way we go before the end of this year, that we have made significant progress on all of them.
And we want to hear from you.
Yes.
What do you think of this list? What is one thing that you find that you're focusing on this year? And what's one thing you are ready to get rid of? Let us know in the comments.